Welcome to the start of our adventure with Splatoon Raiders. When you boot into the game, instead of given a splash screen, instead of being given a splash screen or anything like that, you are thrown right into the difficulty selection, which looks like it's entirely just a matter of self-inflicted difficulty. And it does make it clear right at the outset, it only affects enemy strength and not what you can acquire. Regardless, I think we are going Survivalist. And we can always regret this later, because the thing about Splatoon single-player difficulty is that it does get rather strenuous from what we know in Octo Expansion and Side Order previously, especially, that Splatoon single-player difficulty really does not joke around. But that's perhaps the best way to learn the mechanics properly. So, I think we're going to take a risk. Let's get going and watch the opening scene. I think everything here is familiar to us from when Nintendo first released trailers for the game. The question of who is still holding a fort in Splatsville while Deep Cut is over here on holiday is left as an exercise to the reader. So we know Shiver loves loot, Rye doesn't care about technical tonics. And what else will we learn about this trio? Totally normal and not at all a coincidental timing. Rather remarkable timing, actually. We'll see what brought this on. I love how Big Man saying "I" is also translated on the spot as "ah." So on the Nintendo Today app, over the past month there have been this series of daily comics that start off from this scene and chronicle the mechanic miraculously putting together the hideout ship as their base from scraps. Exactly the kind of person who would have loved to play Tears of the Kingdom. And assemble music boxes from nothing but sticks. You know, 1 month later, the hideout ship is complete. And let's customize the mechanic. Dr. Cliche, how come the Manta Ray doesn't have a human form? It wasn't part of the Convergent evolution. As far as we know. We've never seen Big Man take on another form. Manta Rays have just survived in these circumstances all this time. Anyway. So visually androgynous, but you do have sort of a female and male coded voice. Now for the past few games I have gone Octoling Girl. I guess because Agent 8, of course, being who she is in Octo Expansion Side Order, but I also went Octoling Girl as the protagonist in Splatoon 3, the main Agent 3, the new Agent 3, rather. So I haven't played a Squid in a while. We'll take a look at some of the customization options. I did actually have a look at some of them beforehand, so we could get a sense of what is on offer. I've usually played girl or at least girl-coded characters in the Splatoon series going back to 1 because I find that they tend to have the more interesting designs, or at least that's just a pattern we got into ever since we Splatoon 1 going on. I do love the default here. This is basically the cover art's default model with the fish hook here when it comes to the different Inkling forms. But I do like the asymmetry of this seaweed bound design as well. I rather love the composite cables in this one, actually. The composite cables are kind of a nice touch as far as establishing right away that the mechanic has no short of use for old AV equipment. Here you've also got this discarded plastic bag that you can use as a headband here. You can even see in the back that it's recyclable. And all kinds of magnetic salvage, possibly held together by magnets. I think we're going to go with this, though. We'll just do a few tweaks here and there to find something that we're mildly happy with. And probably we can just find something that we're satisfied with, and also likely change it up later if every Splatoon game so far has taken as a precedent as far as avatar design is concerned. Give her a slight 10 after a month on the hideout ship, or still a little bit of pallor under the former helmet. Well, let's go with that. Freckles, no freckles. We haven't had a freckle design before, I think, in previous games, so let's go with that. And yeah, I usually spend a long time in character designers just being picky, but we'll go with this for now. I mean, presumably our ink color eventually will also diversify a little bit and won't just stay on green the whole time, but we don't actually know that for a fact. So sure, we're happy with this. Let's go with it for now. I gotta remember to set up the motion sensitivity. I'm sure I'll really feel it once we actually start controlling the character. I do tend to play Splatoon on very high sensitivity. Hopefully it's not too jittery a visual experience for the viewer, but that's just what we're accustomed to when it comes to aiming. Anyways, day 31 since our crash landing, starting off right after the 30-day comic series when they've been stranded here for a while and we have no idea who's hosting Splatfest anymore. They've got a lounge, got a space for exercise. They definitely need an arcade. So you can play Squid Jump, which hasn't come back since the Splatoon 1 waiting room. Squid Jump was surprisingly deep. Kind of like a throwback to Ice Climber, except it controlled better. Anyway, Big Man misses home and his former DJ duties. But here you are doing nothing but making our base comfier. And yeah, you think proportionately they have very long arms, very stretchy and spindly. Yeah, that's something that I think I'm just accustomed to by now. Very easily identifiable silhouettes, I suppose. And victory dances. Okay, so we don't have any propulsion in the hideout ship yet, do we? Maybe. Yeah, they scraped it together with absolutely everything. If only Master were here, we could have him tow us. Master, I think, being the shark that's her companion in the Shivers Splatoon 3 battle. Did we know that the shark's name was Master? I don't remember if that was actually said in the fight. I think that was. In the battle that basically takes directly after Maktarok and Tears of the Kingdom. Actually, no, well, no. It's the other way around because Splatoon 3 actually came first. But when I played Splatoon 3, there was something that fight reminded me of as well. But I feel like we've talked about the Shiver and Shark fight in multiple contexts by now when it comes to Nintendo reworking some ideas. So we can build everything except propulsion, it seems, until we gather materials. Can't we just get the Pikmin to do it for us? There's exactly you think Big Man would make us a good surfboard, yeah. He also makes a good bench. There's a lovely Big Man kind of sofa / bench design that's in Animal Crossing now. That was introduced with all of the Splatoon amiibo collabs. Okay, let's set up our sensitivity first when we can. Assuming that, yeah, because default is a little too low for me. Let's see. Oh, I can't actually set it up yet. I guess we have to go with this. Move the controller and line up the reticle. Wait, move the controller. Okay, no, we just need a point. Tutorial segment. And we just reset. Yeah, it's a standard Splatoon tutorial. I need way higher aiming sensitivity than this. We'll do it when it lets me. Which will not be yet. Okay. And then we'll continue. We'll pop some boxes, spin around with the camera. Yeah, way too slow. I'm not gonna play like this. Okay. I mean, probably more watchable. So just as a warning, once again, that when I play Splatoon, it probably is going to be something that looks a little bit jittery to the viewer because that's just how it goes. I got a short range on, what are we even using here? It's kind of like a Splattershot Junior. Yeah. Yeah. Good old Splatoon tutorial, just with a different series of surfaces and fences. But same thing as always for anybody uninitiated. Enemying slows you down, as we know. And then pop that. Now, what about this? This is new. Oh, doesn't it look like you ride that wooden board floating there? Speaking of big man surfboards. So, okay, this is new. And then we can recover ink on the board. That's interesting. Wait, but then we lose the board after this passage. The site of a salmonid turf war. Yeah, I guess that's maybe the consequence of everything that happened to Mr. Grizz at the end of Splatoon 3 is that now we haven't continued infinite expansion of incursions in the salmonid territory. Okay, yeah, so we can't get the board back. It does shatter over here. There's the board that's kind of back at the starting point, I think. I can't quite see. Anyway. Yeah, so I don't do the thing that some people do where they use R-stick aim but with motion refinement. I like using motion as my primary aim. And some of you will be familiar with that already by having seen me crank it all the way up. Almost. I think I cranked it to like 9 out of 10 in Pragmata and other such games. But if they use the same sliding scale for the sensitivity in this as in other Splatoon games in the past, I usually like to take it to like maybe a +4. So we'll get to that. Because yeah, I like using a stick for quick spins and then basically aim completely with motion if I can. So I'm kind of getting impatient for it to let me set it up. I mean, it's playable for the moment, but you know, it's probably going to strip my wrist off for a little while before we get more comfortable with it. Let's keep going. Splatoon 3's movement. Oh, we actually didn't try the squid roll or the squid surge, like the upward one. We should have tried it over there. If it is just Splatoon 3's movement, that would be back, but we haven't tried it. So, for example, back. Yeah, that's kind of it, right? It's about identical to the Splatoon 3 reverse roll. I would like a wall to try the vertical climb on, but we'll do that when we have the opportunity. And that's a boss if I ever saw one. As long as we don't have to deal with the bomb throws to the fly fish, we're fine. Given that I don't have any bombs. This is a really short range on the junior. Oh, gotta retreat. Here we go. Here we go. Salty tongue. Okay. That looks a little better. So we'll switch over to the weapon. I wonder if it just flat out replaces, or if we add a Flamingo Splatter Shot Junior. Okay. I don't think I can do menus yet. This is not breaking anytime soon. I don't know what I can do with it. And do we get a surfboard here? Yeah, we do. So, let's say I splat on top of a surfboard. Can I? Yes, I can. And then we can deplete ink and recover ink fairly quickly. And look at this machine. Oh, this must be the thing that you retool for your deep cut companions to ride in. Totally not suspicious that it's just lying around. Takes a little bit of polishing off. Never doubt the mechanic. There we go, just a little bit of cleanup. Wonder if we can customize the look of it at any time, or if it remains that color. Surely we get the skin to bot eventually, but we'll find out. I think we know Fry loves snacks. She was the Team Grub leader, right, on the Survival Desert Island Packing Splatfest some time ago. Okay, back to the gear. And then I guess we get to change over to the Flamingo Splatter Shot. Do we see a stat change? Surely we get a target dummy at some point as well. So, oh yeah, okay, we have a couple of different sort options. 3 base damage. Okay, so let's say we go with one of those splatter shot and then, oh yeah, so you can still go back to your customization. Okay, so here, player settings probably just changes your Inkling, Octoling type and the voice. Here we are. Handheld we'll worry about later because we're not playing handheld here. Okay. Crank it up to 4. And we'll try it out to see if it's familiar. Whoops. Okay, so we don't actually need to pick anything up if it's loot. Probably we still need to pick up all the currencies, but loot is not missable. Okay, this is better. This is more familiar. Yeah, that's more dynamic. Okay, so these basically work as your targets for testing. Oh, this is just fry. I'm trying to see. I guess because you're not facing, you know, symmetric opponents, you don't need the copy bot or whatever it was and copy machine that you get in the Splatoon 3 training zone. But we got a lovely lime color everywhere here, and eventually we'll see what's calling for our attention up there, but for now, well, there's the bot, but then let's go up there to see what's going on. Also, is there something I can climb around here so I can just try the jumping mechanic? Let's see what's in the horde. Big Man's Guidebook. Briny Scrolls, yeah, that looks exactly the same icon as Scroll Collectibles for lore in previous games. And new arrivals. Oh, I see. Yeah, it just goes to your newest notes. Anyway, Spiral Islands have appeared from those shifts in technical tonics that we were hearing about earlier. Formerly sunken into the sea. That's why we never dealt with them previously in various salmonid hunting expeditions. Splatsville deeply in debt. We've never seen this Splatsville mayor character, whoever it is, on the left before, but that's their problem, not ours. Yeah, I guess after the Grand Festival, everybody just saw fit to leave. Okay, so we'll collect lots more if we go. Oh, hang on. Let's see the other section. Summon research. And as with side order, you defeat a certain number in order to collect notes. And of course, the thresholds here are much, much higher. 3,000. What a chum. We'll get there soon enough, just given how they come in such tremendous numbers in Salmon Run. And we'll likely do so again here. So yeah, frying pans, spoons, and we'll eventually unlock more about them. Salty Tongue, this was the new one. And we'll try not to get bitten. Okay, let's go back. Looks like that's the only thing we can interact with at the moment, other than going to the bot and continuing whatever we're talking about. Yeah, the camera seems to have a bit of inertia to it. We'll keep it for now out of familiarity on the current setting, but we'll make some tweaks as we go if we need to. Okay, let's take a look at the map. Lay Low Island, where they've been laying low. Erp Island, where they'll erp, I guess. Something's popped up on the bot's window, and it's going to project a map. Whose bot is this anyway? I guess we'll find out eventually. Okay. So you actually can go back to the tutorial, I guess, on Little Island, because Pantry Beach is where we started out. I don't know if there's some kind of indicator for whether we have done a full clear here or anything, but there is a check mark for completing, so I guess we'll take a look. And let's go over to the Peel Coast. I guess maybe it says our previous completion time or something. Nothing to do but keep going. Yeah, no, you can't come back here. To the tutorial, at least not yet. Right, we haven't built propulsion for the hideout ship yet. Time for lunch. So the hideout ship doesn't move. You just launched a pod, it seems. And hopefully you have a way to come back, which it seems they didn't think about here. Precision yeeting. Yeet, of course, has been added to the lexicon. Last I checked. It did come up recently. She totally didn't think through how we get back. What does this button do? Okay. Getting some treasure. Over here with X. Alright. I guess we'll figure out what we actually need him for. Anyway, pop the box maybe and see what happens. Water wings, splatter shots. Do we actually get to inspect what we have continued to loot over here? Yeah, we don't actually get to inspect it until we bring it back, though. Seems. Okay. Let's get comfortable here. Oh, that's a lot of cohawks. We'll just back into them. Do they attack the bot? Surely they do. No, they just ignore it. Yeah, they do. Then what happens if they attack Big Man? Did he just bounce back? Okay, he comes back and splashes. But we don't lose him, do we? There's no life bar in him or anything. So he just temporarily gets pushed out of action. Alright. That's quite the color of muck that these salmon is. Leave. No. Okay, so... yeah, this is not an inkable surface, so we need to... jump. And... oh, bot hop. Okay, so... yeah, we jump within proximity and then do a double jump on top of them as a platform. Okay. And then you get a slow float down, kind of like you do with the Pearl Drone in Side Order. I wonder if you can accelerate that just by sinking out of it. It's probably like you just go... actually, if you, even if you go octoling, it looks like you still have a bit of float on it afterwards. It gives you quite a lot of height, too. But then does he come up? Yes, he does. But then what's the range on him to come up? Let's see. He probably joins you wherever because he jumps everywhere. For example, I can go all the way over here, and then we can summon. And then you can summon basically by pointing, but then he's always within range of where you're standing. So it doesn't matter if you're pointing far or close. The jump is always right next to you. Okay. Let's continue. And then we can practice jumping up all the way there. So, big man, if you please. Except we'll... And now, of course, what do we send him onto the grate here? That looks like it's exactly what this is meant to teach. Drill ready. It's kind of like when we finally got the Minoru bot 400 hours into the game after stalling on everything past the paraglider and Tears of the Kingdom until we were thoroughly done with what we could without it. And suddenly realized, oh, that's a much easier way to break rocks. Okay, yeah, so this is what we want to try. Hang on. Hold. And yeah, okay, that's back from Splatoon 3, as expected. And actually, let's see. Halfway. Surge, and then just getting a sense of the distance we're covering with it. Great. Very familiar. Okay. And then, yeah, we just use a contextual command. And let's continue. So, how much flexibility do I have when it comes to driving this? I guess we'll find out. We can't really turn it very much. Just a little wiggle left and right, but we have to proceed at the next island, it seems. So it's not that different from having to continue on a launch pad in previous games. You don't get to steer it all that far. Because... yeah, okay, showstopper. Anyway, there's your meter. Your bot buddy builds the showstopper gauge. We're totally going to accidentally activate this way too many times, given my history with playing Splatoon, that just because of the quickness of the movement, I find that I'm constantly accidentally activating specials. Manta Dance. Fire ink with L and R? Okay. Oh, okay, we get bored on. And then, however, the ink is fired in... It's always fired in a facing direction. Oh. Hang on, we have to build the meter again and try. Because basically, can I sort of pull back, but then still fire ink in a facing direction of the camera? Figure it out. Mega power egg. Okay. You know the drill. Yes, we do. Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, you don't really get to adjust much. You are always targeted at the next available island. Something on the left looks like it's about to pop. We'll see what it is. There we are. That's more like it. We'll let him tank. He's a literal tank. Let him tank. We gotta make more space before I run out of ink. Let's charge up a bit when we can. Oh, that's not a lot of charging. Whoa. Make some space. back up a bit. Oh. Okay, didn't actually end up charging up the meter, but that's okay because we will pop this. Do anything else here? Not really. Salty Tongue's bucket. Oh, I'm gonna charge a weapon. The detergent charger. Well, we didn't plan a way to go back. So how exactly is this going to work? Yeah, I think he realizes. Told you so. Anyway, there's Master. And Shiver, of course. That was Shiver's part of the plan that Fry was hinting at earlier, I suppose. And Fry's got her eel squad as well. That's Amore. Yeah, Master Mega, that was his name. Yeah, it took them long enough to get over here. Wonderful timing. A shark tamer of the Ho-Ho-Zero line. Onaga eel tamer. And Big Man doesn't tame anything. The head of the Manta Clan dance school. They don't mention his stint moonlighting as Ian BGM in collaboration with the Squid Sisters. Masters of legendary abilities passed down for generations through 3 Splatoon families. Deep cut. And this is totally lost in mechanic. Who's not impressed. Who are you? You don't look like Off the Hook with their rescue helicopter that could have brought us back months ago. Or weeks ago. Well, you know. Treasure crazed weirdos who flew to an unknown island and got themselves stranded. Not mutually exclusive. All these things can be true. Okay, that's quite a lot to choose from. Ink tanks. But much more complicated. These tanks are designed to power special tools called gadgets. As seen in the recent Splatfest as well. I guess it's 3 different classes of utilities. So there's speed, power, and tactical. Equip gadgets that help you move quickly. Ah, okay, so it's movement tools. And yeah, that's for getting straight into the action with melee. Tower defense. This rather conveniently matches the purple that's for the tactical class in Dead Cells. Because, as you might imagine, whenever I play Dead Cells, I've, whenever possible, gone pretty heavily for traps and turrets, and both of them going purple here seems to be rather convenient for me to remember. We are going tactical to start, because I love playing towers. We love playing engineer classes and the like. We can be Torbjorn. Splat Torbjorn. And yeah, let's go tactical as the starter. Okay, now we're properly kitted out. It fits like a glove. I mean, a big man wears it, it probably would fit like a glove. So, do we start with a tower? Yes, we do. And then you can probably see the damage number on it. And then, can we call it back early, or... No, it does seem to just... all the way there, and then... Yeah, I guess it matches the base damage of our weapon, or at least is close to it. Well, yeah, ours is 23, it does 22. I don't know if we'll get a sense of how that can be improved. The big man's kind of ready to go as well when it comes to the bots. I wonder if there's a durability to it as well if the summoners attack it head on. Probably. Can I do any friendly fire to it? No, doesn't seem so. It'll just fire until the timer is up. And then it'll expire. Okay, what's our... I don't know if we have a resource meter on it or anything. I think it's just something that you can use on cooldown. By the looks of it. Okay, let's keep going. However, what about the new stuff we've collected? Yeah, okay, so we can look at it right away. Detergent charger. Oh, look at this. Detergent over here. Too bad I can't zoom in on it further and look at the label. So I don't know if we get to scrap or recharge any unused weapons. Oh, we have got a roller here too, a balloon roller. What do we see? Any advanced properties? Ah, there we go. Advanced properties. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Because then you can see a few more specifics, as well as a guide. Yeah, so charges the charge storage while you are in squid form is back. The rollers work pretty much as before. And there are stars on them as well, which might just be rarity, I think. 1 star in it. Might just be the rarity of what you picked up. Looks like you can have 2 gadgets eventually available as well once you've maybe picked some up. And then, so yeah, because we've gone tactical... Ah, okay, and then when you use them, then you can power them up accordingly, and then there's a tank ability that's going to come with it. Now, let's say, I just want to see what the other gadgets were correspondingly. Hang on, do we get to see the properties here? There we go. Cooldown time. Oh, whoop, hang on. And then what's this page? It looks like it's probably leveling up and stacking abilities on it, perhaps, but not exactly sure. Rush forward and attack in a wide slashing arc. So, for example, if you go charger in combination with this, then you do long shots, but then you can clear space around you, perhaps. Let's try out for a 12-second cooldown. Yeah. What is... Okay, so yeah, it moves the character. But then it's on cooldown for quite some time. Then you get the charge as usual. Oh, do you? Charge as usual. Wait a minute, hang on. Where's this charger? So, charge storage. How come we didn't get the charge storage? Store, right? But then how come it's not storing? Hang on. Oh, we were just inaccurate, I think. Let's get the full charge. How come I lost the full charge? Someone crossed the... Yeah, no, I guess we have to hold on to it. I don't know why that didn't save it completely. Anyway, let's try out the one that Shiver has. Whatever this is. Blast boot. Oh yeah, that's just character movement. And then you get a little mini splashdown on it. Good for escapes, might also be good in conjunction with short range. Like we try roller. Has rather specific damage numbers on this. Okay, because then, yeah, you can kind of hold to target your splash. Well, once that's available. And then the splash is 210. Do we see that stat somewhere? I don't think we do. So I wonder how the scaling is going to work. And I wonder if the explosion range matters here. No, it does 210 like on the outside. Let's try something closer. Looks like it just does a flat 210 all around it. Oh, name it. Maybe? Okay. Anyway, let's go back to tactical for now because that's what we decided to go with first. And then... in conjunction with tactical... Yeah, let's play the charger. Why not? Although I feel like we could get mobbed a little bit here. Okay. Let's go with that. And take a look at the treasure map. Who's riding bot gun? Okay, change to showstopper. So we can change it with gear. Oh yeah, bot buddy over here. Also, style. No, that style is just a player settings. It's not a costume change, actually. I don't know when we might get the customized player costume or anything like that. But anyway, we have our new suit. Oh, okay, and you get social bonds with each of them. Straight line. Area of effect. You ride. Big man over here. I feel like having an area clear of Fry will work well with the charger. So let's go Murray's Storm. And let's continue. And that is a time marker. Levels do look replayable as necessary. Okay. Right here so I can get a jump up. There we go. Oh. Totally missed. Let's jump up again. Now the thing is, when you're floating, yeah, you can totally take note. Had to do so much zone defense against those in side order. Oh, we didn't even look at what the salty tongue bucket does. Anyway. Oh, a little out of range. Oh, also, we can use the tower. Right. Here we go. Do we get armor at any point? Not yet, I guess. That's new, these flying ones over here. Didn't we just beat them up in Donkey Kong Bonanza? We should get some height. Yeah. Whoop. Now, what is the level up effect? Doesn't seem to affect the loot quality. We were looting level 2 before we were at level 2. And it definitely affects the HP bar. Let's dig. Okay. I'd better make an escape. Hang on. Oop. Here we go. Okay. A little out of range. Here we are. What is this? That's just decoration. I think we actually have to make this jump. Can I just make this jump myself? Or... yeah, we can. And then roll over, but then here we'll need to fly. What is this, though? It looks like we can probably spin it. What do we spin this? Don't look down, there's no ground. I think it just tells you that you should spin here, but then what about the next location over there? Maybe... what if we... okay, we can't put it in the water. Let's... oh, okay, you can jump on top of it. You can kind of ride the gust. So we ride over to the next one. Slowly, and then get the jump. There we go. Tongue jump. Whoa, getting a little risky here. Let's get out. Hang on. Let's make some space. Make some space. Make some space. Charge her up if we can. There we are. Much better. Okay, next location. Well, I guess we'll have to go around before we can do much more. Let's continue. Yeah. Anything here? No. touching this spinning thing in kid form is you floating, but then you can drop through it with a squid. Oh, that's interesting. You can go ring to ring, I guess, and what if you hop? Then you have to float. Is there a limit on floating? No, but it seems that if you are here, obviously you can't get into squid form, or you just drop it. Like if you tap a little bit, that's fine, but you sink. Looks like you just keep sinking. Okay, until you sink down below. Yeah, you can't jump there either. This is going to be a bot launching you over to that segment. We'll do it. Let me ride it. Shards all over the place, yeah. Getting back would be nice, I guess. We'll go back this way. Oh, actually this is still available. Oh, jump. Hang on. Let's not miss the jump button here. Oop, there we go. Let's make some turf. I can escape over here as well. Gotta get out. Just some padding a little bit. This seems to let you ride enough crap. Let's get up. We should have our special available soon for a bit of area damage, but bit gunky down here. I need to get to those eggs because then we can probably get her powered up. There we go. Now, do we need it yet? Maybe not. No, we're fine. This will give us a bit of an excess. Yeah, maybe no reason to collect those if you're at full, but... Yeah, because we could have just dumped power and still done it back. Yeah, looks like you can't really overflow the special meter on your companion. So I wonder how our outfit changes with the game then, as we progress. Anyway, let's keep going. A tactical tank accumulates a little bit from the level here, I guess. Crash Lander looks like it's just a description of our rank. So you get a CED loadout with which we completion. Some sort of parts. Okay, so we get to retool something or other, or build. So, hence the Spiralite Islands. This is all Spiralite. Wrote these notes. Same character who wrote all the other notes in all the other games, I guess. Leaving scrolls all over the place. The narrator. The lore master. Okay, so we get gadget parts. And truly, we suspect that we can just build things here, but we'll... see, equip these parts with a gadget to modify it. Okay. Where you can change out parts. So then what do we do with the parts? Let's see. Proceed to tinker. Oh, okay, so you can improve it. Okay, we can go up to 10 slots, but then can you remove them? But then can you remove them? That's the most important thing here. 40% range, that's quite nice. I really like that. Also, while we're here... Yeah, that gives you tons of coverage. Let's just do that. But then, yeah, because that gives you your budget. Like, it takes up 5 points because it's a pretty significant improvement. We'll do that, but then you can always take them off afterwards. Because then you can reassign it to other gadgets, potentially. I guess. Because let's say we unequip this one. Go back here, and then... I guess you need to change your tank in order to... customize the other ones, though. So you do need to page around a little bit, to... actually work with this. So, for example... Oh, actually, you'd get a totally different set for each of these. Totally different set of customizations for each type. So there's no reason to save it between screens, because you get a few for each of the 3 gadget classes. Well, there's no reason not to just equip everything until you grab more gadgets to use in conjunction with customization, so let's do that. And then, for example, yeah, because you can just tinker. What is refill? Oh, refill just sort of reassigns from scratch, or rather, fills in with even more gadgets if you've unlocked some since. Vertical slash on. What does that mean? On. Primary slashes are performed vertically. Oh, I see, yeah. Because of the slash motion you get from that ability. I'm going to stay with tactical for the time being. But there's no reason not to spend everything until you have a reason to reassign it to a second gadget in the L button slot, I guess. Anyway, rather like the setup that we had here with Charger and Fry, although we never actually wound up using Fry's power. But it kind of makes sense if you're playing Charger that you would want to dump some AoE somewhere to get out of trouble. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a costume change though. At least not yet. Yeah, because if you have a long range on this, do we get a C range? Oh, it reaches really quite far actually. I like it. Now, if you dump Fry's power here, it probably doesn't affect the levels themselves, right? Like if you can just practice... Maybe? You get to practice as much as you want with power? Let's see. No, because that goes away. That's fine. I don't think she took the charge with her into the level anyway. We didn't see it previously. And you can read the lore page. Eventually we'll read the lore pages and catch them up. Catch up with them, rather, in big clusters. Rather than just doing it one at a time here, but let's take a look at the scroll for now. Looks like collecting lots of scrolls will give you a decent bonus as well, for currency that we have not been able to spend yet. So, interesting spiralite crystals. What's the number 2 here, though? 1, 2, 2. Well, we'll find more pages and we'll fill it in and see how that goes. Anyway, looks like there's nothing we can do except just proceed to more levels and probably still learn more foundational mechanics. So I gotta keep the current setup. We can deal with it. Although, actually, no, I should see what else I looted. Because I didn't actually look at what we picked up. Take a look at the gear. We didn't actually pick up any new weapons this time. We just picked up the gadget improvements. So yeah, when you go to a new level, you don't know who the main summoners will be. Because you haven't scouted it out, but let's take them on. Get buried runes. Let's go with that. It's funny, I never really play Charger in Splatoon multiplayer. But I found it pretty comfortable in some of the single player modes, like in Side Order, to improve the Charger sufficiently. So, about the mist. Okay, I guess we drill. So, the raid continues underground. Let's find out. Briar's gonna dig. So the mist just tells you that there's a place you can dig, perhaps? Or, well, oh, sub-level 1. Looks like this is the Pikmin 2 of Splatoon games. Possibly the Pikmin 4 as well. Depending on how pre-designed or random it is. So you need to charge up in order to earn the right to dig further. But then does that affect a special meter? I don't know. Very thoughtful. Okay, let's do that. Let's get some trip going here first. Okay, cool. Get out of here. Yeah, so it fills the meter, but then what does that do to Fry's special meter? Whoa, we're going to be in trouble. Hang on. Let's get out. Hang on. This is a bad position to be in. Yikes. Whoa, that was a huge hit from the Cohawk. We got one shot there. It's like the first actual hit we've taken in the game so far. Since I've been playing pretty defensively. Yeah, so we need to contain this problem below it. Otherwise I'm dead pretty soon. Whoa, getting flanked here. Okay, bit off a little more than we could chew. However, health seems to reload. What did reload? Was it just time? I'm back to full anyway, that's an important thing. Go out, get away. Okay. So I guess we have to fight until we get the power egg. I couldn't actually reach one. Okay. Let's remember to use the tower and cooldown. Oh, there's a time limit. Didn't know there was a time limit. Okay. Oh, we better collect some eggs then. 10, yeah. Hang on. I didn't know. Our egg's almost full. Yeah, we could have filled it up, but it's just I didn't know there was a time limit. Where could we see the timer? Oh, we have to start to level up from scratch. That's fine. Let's do it. Oh, we asked for Survivalist. It goes right away. Explosive placements. And then... yeah, that's fine. Let's just do it again. That's okay. Just learning it. Like I was saying, single-player Splatoon difficulty does not kid around. If you really bite off more than you can chew. I might not want to go Charger in a room like that, actually. It's a little too difficult to space things out and cover some turf. If we are failing again at this one, we might switch to one of the splatter shots. Can I skip this scene? Or... That's okay, we'll just pace through it. Anyway, no penalty or anything, you just have to do it again. It's really not a problem, it's very relaxed. Yeah, Charger may not have been a fantastic choice there, but we need to cover some ground first. Okay, so level 1. So yeah, I was neglecting collecting the power eggs because I couldn't get in position for them, but if there's a time limit on this, and I didn't even see where the time limit was denoted because I hadn't really taken a good look around the UI, but we do need to charge it within the timer, and then maybe we can dig immediately. So there is a bit of time pressure here that will... There is no timer that we can see, actually. So let's get things up and running first. Just get some ink so I can move. And then start spotting. Okay, good. And actually loot, because that was a problem last time. Whoop. Out of ink. Okay, getting in trouble. Get out, get out, get out. Okay, we need to loot some of that stuff before we really get stuck around here. Do a charger, we need to make use of our space. I'm gonna get Fry Charge up as well. Lots of power eggs over there. Let's just go over them, loot them. Try to get into a better position. Almost full, that's fine. Okay, we should be able to just grab that. And then if we just grab that, can we just go? No, we're still at 942-ish, almost there. Don't forget the turret. You know what? We can just grab that. Our egg's full, so can we just dig? Okay, and then everything else disperses when you dig. Thick cut, salty tongue. It's like an island boss. Possibly. Yeah, there is a very strong Pikmin element to the structure. In some ways. When it comes to the dungeon crawling. Okay, let's fight. How salty could you possibly be? Oh, there is a time limit on this one too. Hang on. So yeah, time pressure, we need to actually do this properly. Get the turret on cooldown. Get it in the weak half. Fry's nearly charged up at least for her special, and then... Whoa, just get out. Hang on, I'm out of ink. I feel like we're not going to hit that timer at all. Okay, I need to get some cookies out of here. Whoa. I'm in big trouble. Danger. Okay, we got spotted. So much. But that, so I guess we... Oh, no, we actually had 3 lives. I didn't realize. I need to start using the bot jump, actually. We haven't been using the bot jump to our advantage. And that's a major weakness in our play. Fry is charged up, though, so we can maybe get the eels down, and then that will at least Give us a little bit more room to work with here. Yeah, getting the eels down made a big difference. Might be able to make it out. Okay, Fry, let me jump. Here we go. Got it. Everything else disperses. Just cutting it a little bit close. Okay. That's a level up. Two-fisted salmonid. Mid-air jump. It's a tank accessory. What do you think it's fighting for? This salmonid civilization. Oh, important stuff to equip eventually. Yeah, we'll play around with some of that stuff. Let's keep going first now. How do salmons have enough of a civilization to create relics out of their kitchen implements? If that's what you wanted. So yeah, because I guess we now have a propulsion system, and look at Master Mega just kind of flapping around in the background. That is a yes. But I pre-ordered Manta Quest 3. The Manta Quest 3 HD 2D remaster. Relic powers, okay. So let's play around a little bit. Also, let's play around the configuration because we still only have 10 slots in this, but we remove, then we have range up and we have a significant damage up. Creates an explosion with setup. That kind of clears some space around you. That might be interesting. And then explosion 1 is down, explosion 1 is up. You know, because, yeah, you would place it more situationally instead of just leaving it up all the time, which we've been failing to do anyway. Let's just go damage on it at the moment. We can configure it further later. The shot pod. I'm sure we'll get more gadgets as we go. Speaking of relic powers, so we have to plug one in here. Mid-air jump. But then if we plug it in here, and then we change... okay, that clears. And then we move it here, and then we change. Okay, so they're universally available, and they don't affect the loadout that you have for the other tanks, it seems. Small jump once in the air. When you do a small jump, damage is dealt around you. Wait. Yeah, okay, so you just get a double jump anytime you want. That is not too bad, and then creates a bit of repulsion. Actually, a good defensive skill. I could use some traversal. That might be useful. What of you are... Yeah, in Aqua... Well, Octoform, you can do that as well. Okay. We'll totally get accustomed to that and have trouble adjusting when we take it off for something else. Let's see what's here. Mechanic shack. We can improve the ship. We can't build an arcade yet? Maybe we get to later on. Turn the open space into a test range. Anyway, let's see about improving this. So, upgrade to tanks. I wonder... Oh, okay, that's what the salty tongue buckets are for. They're currency for construction here. And we don't have the required currency for any of this stuff yet for our gadgets. I see. Construct all ship facilities and advance further in your adventure, so... Well, given the salty tongue bucket isn't used for anything else, naturally I think we do build that. This just improves the test range, but I think that's lower priority, unless we get an arcade. But, yeah, we can test out gadgets. Unbreakable target, yeah, because then you can see sustained damage. You can get the arcade cabinet. So, okay. Look at this. The requirement for this is 2015. Clearly, we're getting Squid Jump. Clearly, we get Squid Jump out of this, so I'm saving up for this. We're prioritizing the arcade, but we do want to maybe have the tank upgrade first. You don't put a 2015 on that cost and not give us Squid Jump. Wonder if we'll get the Dance Dance Revolution game back from Splatoon 2 as well. How do we ever manage with this teensy weensy table? Okay, so you can handle 3 heavy tanks with ease. Let's see what we can work with here. Upgrade tanks, there we go. That's one of the facilities. So you need skill points and upgrade tanks. Raising your level. Adding books. Okay, so this will be upgraded on all tanks. I see, so it's global. Actually, if you look at the visual design, very similar to the Marina Hacks inside order. Exactly the same thing, in fact. Gadget part slots. Rather like that, in fact. Oh, I only have 2 bits of currency right now. Let's think about this. Because then you can really go with the explosion down, explosion up build on the turrets. Until limiter release. Enable more upgrades, equip more relic powers. Enable more upgrades. Wait, hang on. Go back first. What is... Ah, I see. If you scroll over to Big Man, then you get to see everything. Not just running scrolls in the summit of research that we had earlier. And then you get a manual for everything that you've been collecting so far. And all of the mods that you collected so far, and it looks like there's a lot more coming when it comes to the different properties that you can improve. And you get to see all of them by class. Okay. So if you scroll around, okay, it's just between mechanic and big man. That's fine. Then we don't need to go all the way up to the other station every time to look at lore pages. So we're getting hit pretty hard. The HP is kind of tempting to take. Well, I mean, weapon damage is naturally going to be useful as well. Let's go just improving the character for now and then. Actually, we'll go straight weapon damage for now because I'm finding that we were having trouble with the timer in the last level, and just being able to take everything down faster may be useful here in the short term. Later, I do want to really start pumping out gadgets if we can. And as far as the ship construction goes, we can't afford anything else just yet. But we'll see about the 2015 over here. So do I want to stick with Charger for the next one? We might want to go back to one of the shots. I guess we haven't looted any new weapons. Well, let's see what's next here. I mean, whatever's next is a mystery. We can't actually see what's on the next level until we have looked at it for the first time. We get multiple new islands. Interesting. What is this symbol? High danger. Now, given that normally we just dive straight in, but given that I'm playing on Survivalist and that we were kind of struggling even over with the first boss, maybe let's level up a little bit first before we take it on. As far as loadout goes, yeah, we'll stay on tactical for the time being because it's been fun. I don't know if we want to go with detergent still. And yeah, our damage numbers have gone up, as you can see, just overall. Let's stay with our current build. We'll mess around with it later. But in things like the dungeon crawl, I feel like the charger isn't great for it because the spaces are too enclosed and I need to make more escapes quickly. And so for something like that, we probably want to change it back to a shot. But let's see what this level is like and whether the charger is still a good fit. Yeah, that's the thing about the turret is that I'm kind of underusing it as well. That I should just be popping it on cooldown for maximum efficiency when it comes to the damage output. Oh, there we go, the scrapper. Let's flank it. Oops. Just clear some space. And back out. Liking the damage buff from what we're seeing so far. It looks like some crates up there that we can jump towards. Maybe with the double jump as well. There we go. Detergent charger. The same detergent charger. Unless there's a level increase on it. Yeah, that's the incentive to poke around a little bit in the level, is that it's not explicitly marked as a treasure. You just need to look for crates like that and hope something pops. Is there a large platform we're not using? Oh, because... Oh, I see, okay. Need to get rid of this guy here. Charger's great against these, potentially. Maybe. I guess we should knock him down properly. Okay, there goes the stinger. More scrappers down there. And we'll go turret against the scrapper and then see if we can flank it. Does it get distracted like that? It's sort of interesting playing without something like a bomb as well. That I guess you get the turret in lieu of bombs. That it essentially, as a gadget, replaces what was formerly the step weapon slot. But it does so without burning through your ink supply. Okay, here we'll need to... Whoop. Oh no, okay, I almost fell down. Now this is a great turret situation, just bring it down. Still have a scrapper over there to deal with. Yeah, kind of interesting to think that in Splatoon we've never really had this natural curvature to playing surfaces before, if you think about the terrain that you had in previous games. Like, this is kind of the quiet generational leap in some ways when it comes to what's going on here technically. Okay, you got the briny scroll. I wonder if there's some kind of indicator that tells you if you've gotten the scroll for a given level, like a check mark for it as a potential collectible, just in case you miss it, because there would be a finite number of scrolls, right? Unless maybe it does come up randomly and you just need a sufficient number of them. Now, there's a treasure indicator all the way over there. I guess we wrap around. Back up. I see crates. Let's go for those. Let's do the bot jump. Loot. Old compass. Interesting. Oh, I guess it's a treasure. So yeah, we should be looking for crates whenever possible as unmarked treasures. That might be worth a look. Let's jump on top of here too. Nothing. Bit of a slippery surface, in fact. Let's keep going. Mohawk first. Scrappers coming in. Got a little bit of tower defense over here. And then go scrap in the back. Go. Got a scrapper's glass window. We saw that as one of the crafting materials we needed earlier, so it's good to have. Yeah, there's the treasure on that side, but we'll get to it. I think... Oh, okay. Hang on. Wait, we can pop those, though. There we go. Before we get to the treasure, let's keep exploring around the area first, just to see what's going on here. Bounce. I said bounce. Now, why on earth would we want to pop these balloons? We'll find out in just a moment. There's for currency. That's great. Need to save up for that arcade, so... Oh, come on, over here. There. I don't think we can actually get on top of that. Oh well. see about this arena over here. Let's make some room first. Stinger. Yeah, we'll go for that. Prioritize it. Turret should actually go next to the stingers before, so we can take it down properly. Oh, it doesn't need to be right next to it. Oh, that was a lot of damage off the Gohawk. Actually, double stinger over here. I didn't even see that. Yeah, and health reloads after you've avoided damage for some time, it seems. At least from how I'm understanding it. Let's make sure we're not missing anything else that's reachable here that would be nice to pick up. And then we'll just put the treasure and drill. And here we are. Yeah, eventually we'll probably want to diversify a bit so we can have an opportunity to level up other tanks in case we need them situationally. But I do like sticking with tactical for now. Does the treasure value even matter? The valuation of it, I don't know what it even does. Ink Pro, equipable on all tanks. I'll figure that out. I wasn't really using the double jump very much, so... Oh, I see. It gives you the title. And then that gives you these additional perks, like having a greater shard yield as you improve your rank. Now, does it tell me what the Ink Pro is? Ink consumed by weapon is reduced 10%. While using the weapon, the area is inked a little. I like that. Compass pointing somewhere. Can be tracked on the map. And then, yeah, a lot of these you continue to get in conjunction with the shot pots. Nice increase on some of this. We'll handle that as we go. So detergent charges, it was the same as the other detergent charger. Again, I don't know if we can do something to scrap redundant weapons. Surely we get to at some point. There's colony up there, but we can also go out here. So yeah, we need more scrappers before we improve gadget developments. And even so, maybe we go for the arcade first. And no skill points yet until we get the next level up. Also, what's this on the corner? Let's take a look. Multiplayer. Yeah, we're going to stay single player while we're playing on stream, but we'll see about it. Borderlands mode, I guess. Sure, let's just keep our default username. We'll change it up later. We might change it to the streamer name as well, but we'll deal with it when we actually come on eventually. We might change it to channel name just for clarity. But let's keep it. And then... yeah, so relic powers... I actually didn't really even deal with that knockback power. We didn't test out the damage on the little jump here, actually. 63, that's not too bad, actually. As a way to do space around yourself. Maybe we should have been using it. Because what's the alternative here? Let's replace it and see how much ink do we get at our feet. A little bit. I guess it helps escapes, because then if you're stuck, then you can just take a shot and then you can at least get a jump out. Instead of being stuck on the ground, so... I mean, both of these seem to be escape utilities, essentially. increasing ink consumption is probably better for a playstyle at the moment. So, shot pots. Whoops. Let's tinker a little bit. Yeah, so the shot damage up, look at this. It's a big jump from 15% to 24% just from the extra points. So we'll probably want to use the next skill point on just extending that, because that's a pretty big boost, and that's also going to give us an additional point to spare. Of course, we can always go with a shorter range up and higher damage. And perhaps until we do get the points to reconfigure. Then we might as well... Oh, okay, no, you can only use one of each type. You can't stack multiple shot damage. You can only get one in each set. That's fine. I actually kind of want to test the explosive placement for a moment so we can see what the damage number on it is. Wow, that's big. Huge range on it too, actually. That's a lot better than I thought it would be. Look at that. So yeah, not only is it a turret, but you can also use it as a get out of trouble. Bit of burst damage. That might be something that we want to rebuild towards, in fact. I mean, you know, in general, we just want to stack more points for this, too. Yeah, I guess the reason to get the infinite target dummy is so you can actually see what the damage would be on Explosive Finale if you do pick it up as well. But for now, let's go damage and range. But I do like the idea of eventually using it to get out of trouble where necessary. We'll see, because right now I want to make sure our damage is keeping pace with the levels that we're seeing. Because we were already running into time of trouble on that first excavation. Now with that out of the way, let's just continue. I mean, we haven't really been using Fry's power, but I still think Fry's power is a good synergy with what we have here. We do manage to charge it up, so let's keep going. So yeah, the compass wiggles a little bit. And... oh. Dungeon. Now, why is it saying sampler? Oh, probably because it gives us a different loadout to play with. Dashes of spice. A sampler dungeon. Obviously, we're going to take a look at that first, just to see what it is. So I guess we get to test something that isn't in my loadout yet, if I'm understanding this correctly. Push yourself for a chance to upgrade your skills. Okay. No bot, though. So there's a challenge level with a preset loadout. No weapon, only the dash bomb. How do I see how I use the dash bomb? Whoa, hang on. No. I accidentally propelled myself forward today. That was not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. Okay. And then what happens when we pick this up? And how come I can't jump up here? Can. We dash. There's no time limit though, is there? Collecting this tells you gadget ready. Oh, I see. No, it reduces the cooldown. I see. Yeah, because it resets the cooldown when you use it this way. Yeah. Now, can I cancel out a boost like get in the squid form? No, it goes like that. Okay. Can't seem to pick that up. Let's see if we can do it. We need to figure this out. Maybe do a squid jump here. Okay. Yeah, get all the squid rings to clear the way. Okay. Let's not overshoot. There is a boundary, of course. Here, anyway. There might not be a boundary later. Do we just run into this guy? Oh. 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 He's in my way. Oh, nope, fell down. Okay, let's try it again. We'll keep going. At least we don't get ejected out of here. We do get to retry. And the ink that we've made so far does come back upon retries, which... Whoop. Let's get to jump down, though. Go. It's quite the boost. Okay, we do need to cover some of this ink so I can actually move. In fact, we seem to have taken out the salmonid. Oh, which I totally didn't see. Okay, we need to actually jump with sufficient height when we boost into that. That's been a little difficult to gauge. Also, let's make some ink here in case we need to respawn. Yeah, so you do a bomb on activation and bomb on ending. That's how it works. Open this up. Up the ramp. Shows you that that's how it works on a ramp. Oh, nearly slipped over. Okay, so this we'll need good timing for. I totally veered off course there. I thought we needed to make a little adjustment, but unfortunately that was far too much. We need to keep this straight. The collected rings stay collected though, that's important. Wow, that was not good aim. Okay, we'll need to escape this one as we go. Like, lead them over and then just... I keep forgetting that we do, I think, need a little bit of... Well, we don't get any surface to deal with here, actually, so... I'm not getting enough of a boost over that. Maybe we can't jump that since we can't ink down below. I'm not reading that very well. Whoops. They do stay down, though. Yeah, it just keeps going lower than I think it will, essentially. So we can't actually make this jump, for instance. What I can see. But we have to make this jump, so that doesn't make sense. I guess we were able to make the jump, but maybe I didn't position that in the way that I should have. Or... like, if you jump... Well, no, you do need to point. Because how do we get enough of a burst over here? Like, what if you're kind of pointing up a little bit? No, it just pushes you forward like that, but then you have to jump. And then when you jump much further first, no. It sinks you down. Now, that opens the gate, but I still don't understand how to make that jump. Which is not great. Like, because I couldn't get sufficient speed to make it, so how do we even do it? Given that we were supposed to learn how to do it. Am I just activating it late? Let's try it a little bit, even though there's nothing to collect there anymore. We kind of need to understand it because I basically blundered into the final bit of collection without understanding how it is we're supposed to get sufficient height. Maybe it's because I took off the double jump. But then I don't think this is affected by that because it's just a totally preset loadout. So then, how come we're unable to jump over then? Maybe I need a... Like, if you have a little bit of forward momentum when you're walking... So, for example, you walk like this. Yeah, so I need kind of a walking jump forward. That almost made it. Could have gone off the edge a little bit better there. We need to practice this because even though it looks like the ending is inside, I bet we need to actually understand this to clear this properly. Yeah, you can't just do a stationary jump into it. But then that loses too much height, so you have to kind of do it at the peak of that jump. It does feel a little bit awkward without having some ink to jump from for crossing like this. Alright, let's just skip it for now because I'm burning a lot of time on it for no reason, but it does concern me that we don't actually know how it works in terms of getting some decent air. Oh, no, it was on cooldown. We were even warned not to go too fast. Oh, oops. Way off target. Yeah, you sync really quickly on this, and I don't know if there's a... We just may need to go on the peak of the bounce and expect that we sync correctly as we boost. There we go. Yeah, you do need to go on the peak. Okay. Okay. That's something new. Looks like a skill point book. Which again I think we'll use for improving the gadget capacity, but let's take a look. I mean, very tempting to just go straight for the 30. But then if we take it, then we can have like a 7 and 5 on the tank. Very tempting to just stack straight weapon damage, actually. But let me take a look at the customization that we have here first. Because if we take 12, then what are we taking? We can take range plus damage for 11 points, or we can go explosion plus the 15% damage, which is still decent, but would kill the range. I think, given that we're mostly looking at the 20% boost on the range, much as I want to increase the gadget capacity, I'm actually going to go full weapon damage for now. And it looks like, yeah, the next tier of upgrades for this isn't available until the limited release. That's what the limited release is for. So let's keep going damage for now, but then we'll diversify further as we go. So that seems to be all we picked up, just a skill book. Let's continue. Lintel Inlet. Yeah, and so you can see on the map where some of the steam pipes are indicating an underground dungeon. So when we go to a zone that has that, then maybe we switch back to something like a splatter shot. Or whatever we pick up along the way, because, you know, if we keep pushing, perhaps we get some higher level weapons. But I guess if you really get stuck at a certain point, then you can replay for a certain grind, for at least a level grind or whatever. I prefer not to have to grind things out. We'll push on as much as we can, but we'll see how much of a snag we hit when we get to the next dungeon. Okay, so Sure, let's go for the power rig. So yeah, we need a certain quota to get that. Now this allows you to scope out a place. I don't know what the red over there is for. Could be power rig locations. We'll find out. Whoa, that's a big burst of all of a sudden. I guess that's why we're going weapon damage. Oh. And we got a stinger part. And we'll scrub the entire island if we can. Oh, there we go. Luckily we played Stinger. Goldie. Where's Goldie? There's Goldie. So Goldie gets to be your treasure goblin in this game. The treasure goblin mechanic. Let's see if we can snipe Goldie here. Oh, hang on. Taking too many risks. I don't know if we managed to get Goldie here. Oh, Goldie's gonna go back. Nope, lost it. Okay. Yeah, it is essentially a treasure goblin mechanic. Very common to a lot of loot games these days, in fact. There's something recent that has something similar to that too, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I've been playing too many games here, I can't keep them straight anymore. Anyway. Yeah, so you've got a couple of different passages that you can go to. This would be maybe your return path. Go right there. We'll catch up on reading scrolls maybe at the end of the session today. Let's just collect as much as we can for now and keep going from there. Now, given that we have islands from side to side, I wonder how much leeway we have for choosing where to go. I guess so you can choose some branching paths within limits, within very tight limits. Big crate over there on the right that we should look at some point. This looks like it's about to burst. Why isn't it? What do we need to do to activate it? I guess eventually on our return, perhaps it will open up with something. More scrolls? Yeah, it looks like the orange crates will consistently give us those. Oh, there we go. A bit risky there. Okay, there's that big guy on the left. Yeah, makes waves. We're gonna level up. Explosive placements, another one. Yeah, because you can eventually diversify how many points you're taking up with each of the gadget improvements. All the different plugins. Max customizes how much you can customize. What is this? Old compass? Great. More skill points incoming, possibly. Can we just snipe this one up here? Might work out a lot better if we can. Yeah, because it just totally can't touch us, which is great. And we'll see about the Quahog down there as well, once this gets out of the way, perhaps. Oh, that was also jumping up at me. That's fine. Look at that, no scope 360. Anyway, we'll ride that in a moment. Let me make sure I've actually cleared the area. There's clearly something to do over here, for instance. Or, well, just a few little shards to collect. Actually, let's take a look over here. Just in case. Nothing up there. And I think we're seeing what we want on this side. Sure, let's just continue. Ride the incline. Spinook Swarm. Oh, that's quite a swarm. We better charge Fry to get the area attack down. Really charged. Yeah, we'd better get down here and start dumping. Yeah, a big dump like that also gets you a lot of those points back, which is nice. Anything else to inspect over here? I mean, we're not at the requirement that we need for mining the crystal yet, but there's more to see over there, so we'll jump that way and see what we can acquire. Jumping chum. Maybe we spent too early there. Let's make some space so we can actually move around a little bit. Oh, scrappers. Gonna scrap. Okay, let's open it up. Get out. Maybe jump out of here. Okay, that's settled that somewhat. There's more coming. That will get us over the line for the 2K. I don't know if there's a reason that we want to charge up to a full 4K for the drill. Or if we can even do that. More balloon rollers. And more to loot all over the place over there, but we'll take a look. Yeah, we passed by this way, this way. And no surfboard here, but we do get... Oh, well, there's one over here, but then that just crosses back over to where we came from, so let's head over here. Is there actually any kind of zone map or anything? No, there isn't, as far as I can tell. In fact, the X button is free for this game specifically because there is no minimap anymore. And so, use it for the bot movement instead. Make some space. Scrapper's coming a little close here. Let's get out. Get out. Get out. Danger, danger. Yeah, you kind of need to get out of danger and then recharge. Because I guess danger means the next hit is the hit. Similar to we saw recently in Beat Spell and Rhythm Heaven, actually, in terms of the critical damage mechanic where it gives you one last chance before you take the final hit. Let's keep going. We want that arcade machine. We'll go a long ways before we can avoid it. If current trends persist. And look at that. Yeah, let's accumulate as much as we can before. Come on, get up here. Very convenient to be playing Charger against that guy. Yes. Come on. Give me another one. Okay. So the crystal regenerate, which means you can just keep going for them for as long as you want, I guess. Yield times 1.4. Yeah, because I guess once you've charged up more power eggs, then it improves your fortunes, everything, everywhere else that you're doing. We'll go back over to that crystal and grab more. There we go. Goldie's back. But we got a lot to deal with first. Where's Goldie? Here. Get a chart down. Goldie's not going down. Oh well. And actually, we got a few things here. Salivator's plastic bag. Yeah, we popped a few things. I guess you just hit Goldie for loots, and even if it's not going down, or even if it is killable at all, I'm not even sure. You can still pick up a decent amount of goodies off of it. And you can really take your time with a level like this too, which is nice. And then that crystal over there. Yeah, we can go for that, pick another fight. Oh, actually, there's still more enemies in that set. Let's do that. Yeah, we can just be here as long as we like. I'd like to cap it to 4K just to see what happens. Probably just gives you a bigger yield bonus, which is fine. We can just play here as long as we want, it seems. Come on. Here we go. Water Wings Splatter Shots. It's a name that has a nice ring to it. Water Wings Splatter Shots. It's fun to say. And yeah, things keep regenerating. You can just go back to crystals and just loot and loot and loot. And you're not particularly limited. Well, we're enjoying the setup that we have here. I do want to see... I guess if you get up to 4K, maybe it's just a double yield bonus or something, or it goes up to ×2, what I'm guessing. And we can still pick up quite a few parts over here. And the salivators, yeah, the salivators are the flying ones. do remind me of the bats in Donkey Kong Bonanza that we've had to deal with quite a bit recently. We might as well cap it out and see what happens. Because, whoop, things keep happening. And we do have the special up for Fry if we really need to clear space in emergency. I think I'm alright right now, but... if we have something like a Goldie objective, for instance, it makes sense to dump the special, clear space, and then go straight for Goldie. Let's not forget turrets. Where'd that scrapper go? Where'd it go? Oh, I guess the crystal got mined or something. Yeah. The scrapper just disappeared on me. Okay. Oh, here it is. Yep. Because they disappear on you while you're fighting them, they come back. There we go. And close up 4K. Picking up a good bit of currency off of this one. Yeah, I bet it just gives you up to ×2. I really don't know if it will do anything else, but we'll come over here and see. Okay. Getting close. Yeah, we better save Fry Special for it if we have another goalie come up so we can see what happens. We're full up on power eggs, yeah. So at this point, you can just go for the objective. Unless you really don't want to. You know what? Let's just dump on them. Why not? No reason not to. The crystals do keep regenerating at this point if you really want to keep playing, but there's probably a limit to how much we can usefully loot here. Let's go for the main objective. I don't think I missed any good crates or anything. Okay, and then we'll just pop the treasure, and that looks like that's all we need to come here for. Maybe. I mean, there is that last objective over there. Like, let's see if it actually reloads. Like, let's pop that crystal and let's see if there's a limit once we're at 2K. I'm curious. Oh yeah, no, they just keep regenerating. So yeah, they just keep coming back. Okay. Oop. Oh, got ourselves in a bit of trouble here. Let's back out. And mind this because we're here anyway. We want that arcade machine. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's just complete the objective. Yeah, very open-ended. You can just take your time with it and mess around, which is nice. I can kind of see why a level like this was introduced right after the possibility of playing co-op was introduced, because if you're playing co-op, that in itself kind of introduces an incentive to just have unbounded openness, where you can just run around until you're bored, with teammates hitting objectives everywhere as they reload. So I absolutely see the rationale for that. Anyway, more important stuff. We'll read the documents as we go. More skill points, no doubt. And yeah, we keep looting for the shot pod. I better start looting for some of the other gadgets as well. And actually, if this is only for the shot pod, not just for anything tactical, because you can see that it's got the shot pod icon on it, that in itself is a reason. So if you're only really looting for your current gadget, that in itself is a reason to start building more gadgets, so you can start diversifying to build a bit. Perhaps. We'll see. Steelhead's tired, big shot spring. And then that's a big range increase. Fire rate increase. Interesting. And then we get a lot more damage off of this. Level 4. Yeah, we might even go with the level 4 splatter shot next. And maybe change around the loadout a little bit so we can play with it. Because we've been going with this charger style for a bit at this point. And regardless, I mean, let's take a look at the map, because if it is a preset for the next compass location, then... Ooh, that's interesting. What is this? So, it's got this triple chest here with each of the tank types. Starting to pod. So this is another sampler level, so it doesn't matter what we build into yet then. It may make sense to do this one first and accumulate a skill points. And it's buried runes. It says that it's buried runes, and so we might want to switch off to the splatter shot for that one. But maybe we keep our loadout. Like, I guess it gives you... I don't know if it means that it gives you all 3 chests. I guess we'll have to figure that out as we go. But let's stir the pot a bit first. And yeah, it's a splatter shot and turret combo here anyway that we'll get a chance to play with. So there's going to be something preset. Plastic bottle splatter shot. And it is with a shot pot, but presumably it's just with a shot pot that's its standard shot over here. Let's let it expire so I can test out this splatter shot a little bit too. Get out of here. Got 50 base damage, and then this reloads it. Oh, whoop, hang on. Let's boost over. So I guess the idea is that we place a turret and we just back up. We better get around. And then make more turrets. Yeah. Okay, more corridors. Yeah, because the scrapper, well, we need to hold it in place so we can actually flank it. We have to hold both of them in place, perhaps, well, so we can actually flank them both. Just stall them and hopefully the turret can actually hit. This is still going here, but we hold it in position and then flank this guy. There we go. I see boxes. More ink here. Yeah, so we just busted up 100 of them. Pulling down our some more precise placements. As with bombs. Anything else? Now I can't seem to jump up here, so I guess we just need to get the turret within range and throw it. Yeah, there we go. And we'll do the side over here. Should give me a launch pad to whatever's next. There we go. Okay, that's gonna sting. Let's... Oh. Maybe... Come here. That one. Just to mitigate some of what's incoming. Oh, actually, no. Turret should have gone up here. We know how tower defense works. Make the maze. There we are. Oh. We'll take the level up, sure. Not gonna complain about that. That was some swarm. And let's grab the card. So we got level 5 and a skill tone, which is great. Because then we can get ourselves ready. Rep for construction project. You know what? We actually do have enough for the arcade. We're totally going to get our priorities right. Yeah, well, we said we'd get the arcade. Let's get the arcade. Unless there's something else I need currency for on this side first. No, this is just using skill points, and so we'll take care of that in just a moment. Let's grab the arcade first. So, do we get squid jump? Let's take a look. I'm very curious. Except, how do we access the arcade? Is it with the location up here? Come on. It's gotta be up here. I think your ship is haunted. Okay. Surely we get the arcade machine. Wow, that is something waiting to be unpacked. We'll take a look at this. Sure. Oh, no, that's the crane. Interesting. Oh, do you get to salvage that with a crane? It's like a crane game. The claw. Oh, and except you need to pick this up with good timing. All right. But you can do this as much as you want. And okay, wait, no, let's get the input correct. Yeah, so you hold open claw, but then you can retract and then dump it. Okay. You need to open it all the way, get it ready to go down, then you lower it. Nope, totally broke this. Oh, that was a fast one over here. Oh, can't rotate it that way. Open it all the way, and let's grab... Oh, nope. We could be at this for a while. All that Wind Waker practice you would think would come in handy here. Whoops. Never mind, smashed it. You need to read them at different speeds, that's the thing. There we are. But I wonder if you get better stuff from faster crates. Probably no difference. Unless you get the orange crates. We need to find that arcade machine, though. This is... just a temporary diversion until the other diversion. want to get at least one of the orange crates in case it gets you a briny scroll or something like this one, for instance. Missed. Oh, busted it. Yeah, let's play until we get at least one orange crate. Just see what happens. So you can extend or retract while the claw is open and ready to go in case you need to reposition. Once you start lowering it, it's not so much. There, nope. There we don't. Surprisingly tricky. Oh, here's one of a different color. Nope. This is why we never get prizes off of claw games in any context. You bet this would make more money than rigging it through luck? 06i. Well, we'll see. We haven't looted anything here yet. So, oops. Come on, the claw is our master. It decides who will go and who will stay. Nope. Couldn't get a single one of those. There's something, at long last. And then it does follow its own little physics system here, so we do need to be careful to drop here as well. Again, I want to get at least one orange one, just in case we have anything interesting to see with that. But that may take a while. See, this is why Fry operates the crane to send us places. Can't even pick up the slow ones. Oh well. Hang on. Oh, here's an orange one. Let's go for that. Nope. Nope. Yeah, pretty sensitive, this selection here. Okay, there we go. That's the appropriate spacing for once. Let's see what else we can get. I am waiting on another orange one if we can. If we're not getting one soon, we can get something else instead. And at least get the spacing right for the different speeds that we see. Oh, could have missed that one down below though. And then I guess we get out of this and we go back to the main deck and splat the crates that we can. Okay, here's something. Nope. Can't do it. Let's at least try to get a sense of the spacing for this speed. It's going to be a little too slow, but then let's try this one. So about maybe 4 crate links. That, out of position. Takes a moment to open the crane rather, to begin with. So with a slow speed like that, about 1 to 1.5 box gap seems to do it. We haven't been able to pick up any of the ones that go at a medium speed yet, and we want to figure that out because that might be more applicable to the orange ones. About like 3 boxes. Okay, about a 3 box gap for those ones. Oh, whoops, I accidentally shattered it. But actually, we looted it. So if you break it, that's fine if you break it on the deck because you do collect materials. So it doesn't hurt to break it on the deck, if that's what you must do. But you would think the orange ones give you something like a lore scroll. Which is why I'm trying to catch one. Because there might be something like a scroll that's exclusive to it. There's this fast one over here. About 3 crate lengths. A little slow. Not quite. Haven't seen an orange one in a while, actually. Nope, not gonna catch this one. Or are we? So I wonder if you get any kind of currency reward for the arcade game, whatever it is, or if it's just for fun and sport, but we'll find out. I would like to see an orange crate spawn at some point. But if we can't get one yet, then we may have to leave it for now. Haven't seen one in a while. And yeah, the game saves in the corner, as you can see, whenever you do loot something. Alright, let's go back for now. But I suspect that you could actually get an additional scroll off that at some point. Anyway, let's bust all this stuff up. Where are my Triforce pieces? Or Triumph Forks, it's a where. And where's the arcade game, for that matter? We just built it. We just spent so much on it. Surely we can find it. It's not this. This is just a horde. It should be in the test range, right? Places in the arcade cabinet in the test range, so why is it not in the test range? Or did I just not see it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, squid jump? What do we think? Mining, hopping. Hopping has got to be squid jump, right? Let's... Actually, it's something different entirely. Yeah, it's like a juggling game. Oh, can we jump these? Yes, we can jump them. From the developers of Squid Jump. Oh, and you can bounce those on top too, that's great. And you just go for the score within a time limit. And juggle. Oh, you can't. Oh, can't hit those from below. That hurts your squid. So does that. Okay. Rank C. We're gonna retry it. Oh, let's not lose too many points. At least we've got a better hang of what's going on here now. Oh, that was a big hit, unfortunately. The mechanic character was totally the designer of Squid Jump in a past life. I mean, lore-wise, that wouldn't work with an Octoling character, I guess, because the Octolings had not yet been converted at the time of Splatoon 1. But, whoop. Okay. Should be doing better this time, you would think. Rank B. We'll eventually try to push rank A on it, but let's take a look at mining. So, do we hit the rocks or do we not hit the rocks? We don't hit the rocks, okay. But you do try to collect gems. And yeah, actually there is a button that you can press to accelerate. A button also accelerates. I tried the A button first, but then it suggests ZR. And you try to go for high score by increasing your speed. You can accelerate quite a bit. Oh, missed it all. You know what these actually remind me of even more than Squid Jump is? Tiger in Xenoblade 2. Xenoblade 2, which also has a salvage minigame of sorts. Which is separate from the pixel art Tiger game. I spent entirely too long on Tiger when I encountered it. For the first time in Xenoblade 2. So yeah, only C rank because we didn't really accelerate much. Let's try to push maybe B rank, now that we actually know what's going on. Oh, wow, that was not it. I'm missing everything here, though. Nope. This is not going to be C rank, I don't think. We're doing rather terribly. Whoops. Yeah, I don't think we'll even get to a previous score. That is one big rock. Okay. Nope. Ramming into everything. Okay, that was not very successful, but C rank it is. Okay. That was fun. Totally worth the 2015 in currency that we're not getting back. And let's see, because we can actually afford the gadget construction regardless, which is nice. Maybe we should do that. Oh yeah, so the top thing here for weapon upgrading, that must be from the hard level. That was the level 8 level on the left side. We maybe want to take a look at that, just to see if we can loot what we need. Let's take a look at the gadget development then, since we can afford it. Okay, so let's get out of construction and let's see. Shiver is going to have the gadget station. We probably don't have any shards that we can use for this, and so we just spent them all, but let's see. Shotpot high fiber. Yeah, because we spent on the arcade, we can't actually afford any of this stuff. Yeah, 5 simultaneous lines of ink that bounce off terrain. Oh, that's interesting. Ah, okay, and you can launch something that you can detonate yourself at will. And then you get some other choices for these as well. Dash with explosive force. Oh yeah, the dash bomb, which we tried and kept falling with. Boomerang. Booyarang. Rather, booyarang. Enjoy its graceful, damaging arc. Oh, you get your own spinner. Lock onto and chase boss salmonids. And yeah, this makes a shield around you that would be helpful to splatter lights. So yeah, we need to start leveling up the other specs as well, I guess. But for now, let's see what we want to do. And if we are diving into a cave, like I said, I don't really want to play Charger. But we could also go to the plain den, maybe. Still saying danger, even though we're approaching the level that we need for it. Well, we can give it a try, because it does give you the weapon development. Oh, we haven't actually leveled up skills yet, have we? Let's maybe do that first. That's kind of important. What was that? Upgrade tanks. There we go. I got 3 points to work with here. It may actually make sense to boost HP a little bit, but we'll go with... Or we could just go full damage. Because then time isn't as much of an issue. If we go gadget slots though, maybe it's 2 slots per point. If it is 2 slots per point, we can have some real flexibility here. Because let's take a look at what we're doing, right? Like with this one, we're 9 points right now. We can add 3 for something like explosive placement. We had another 2 points, then we could then bump the range from 3 to 5, perhaps. Or even go for fire rates. I guess a longer range on the turret is going to synergize well with going for auto shot. Or we could even just, you know, go low range and explosive placement with it. But let's see. Or even just explosive finale with it. And then kind of get both of these together. I think regardless, we want to have at least one more upgrade point on the gadget parts now. And then we might want to do HP next. Because we're a little bit fragile at the moment. But again, damage output was the problem with the timer that we found in the previous Islands cave, and so that's why we're going a little bit aggressive with the build. So we do have the range up at the moment. Go for this. Let's see the range on the explosive placement actually to see how useful it's going to be here. .335. Yeah, a little less damage than the big one we saw earlier, but... And because we don't have the infinite target dummy, we don't see what explosion we got off of that here. But I do kind of like the double explosive placement. Tempting to just up the damage on it as well, because what are we getting off of this is damage right now. We got 53, yeah. Speaking of which, so let's move up to the water wing splatter shots. We'll keep this as the relic power. Do we want to keep Fry dumping where? Yeah, we might as well. Because the area clear kind of gets you out of trouble. Even though it's maybe less critical when you're playing Charger instead. Or playing Spotter Shot instead of Charger. Okay, let's take a look. I am tempted to go for this one first. How bad could it be? Telling me danger with 3 additional points. Couldn't possibly be that bad, right? On Survivalist. Let's see it. If it goes badly, it goes badly. Whatever. Oh, I forgot to assign the last point. I forgot to assign the last skill point to something like an HP boost or something. That's okay. We're here. Let's play. And then. Good luck. Oh yeah, we can totally do this. Maybe. Oh, I have to remember, we have the explosive placement now. I should place more strategically when we are able to. And yeah, you can kind of get yourself out of trouble with a good burst like that on the tower placement, so we should in fact try our best to use that where possible. And then stand close to it, so when you get the expiry on it, you get the exit explosion as well. Need to make a little more turf here for ourselves. Problem. Well, okay, maybe a problem now. But. Oh, okay. Yeah, you actually do need to beat the timer still on this. Whoa. So maybe we can't quite do this yet, except we have Fry. And that'll get us a big boost. Eels. Oh, not going to beat the timer though, so not sufficient damage on that. You know, Roller might actually be better for this. Maybe. Let's do the last point. I might even go damage for the last point. Just to get a little bit more on the turret. Gadget damage, 10%. Unless, well, it's 10%, but then if you have 2 additional slots on this, then you would get more range, but let's go damage. Because again, beating the timer is the issue right now, so. So what do we want to do? Do we want to go roller for it? Well, we've got a level 3 roller. Vertical swing does more damage. We'll keep that in mind. Ain't gonna go. Might do okay. Yeah, for this level, you know, let's go roller. That really does make a certain amount of sense. Call for help? No, we're not calling for help. What even is call for help? I'm not gonna try it. Oh, call for help from other players. No. It's the Super Mario Wonder style of random collaboration. That's an interesting thing to implement here, though. That's kind of neat. As far as network features go. we're gonna try it again. Whatever, we get a modest gain off of... Oh wow, they actually are pretty tanky. They don't just die to the roller right away, what I would like. Okay, we've got to watch our ink juices here. Did seem to clear that wave a little faster at least. We can get some turf going so we aren't locked in as much. Yeah, because they don't just go down immediately to the roller, unfortunately. But I was kind of hoping they would. However, that explosion does get you out of a certain amount of trouble. It is going better, it seems. And if we can, whoop, first of all, not take a hit, not take that many hits, and whoop. But explode a little bit, get out of trouble, push. We need Fry to clear space here on the Quahog wave. We need vertical shots, actually. Oh, we're out of time already? That was quick. Well, at least we leveled up in the meantime, but... Yeah, that didn't go nearly as well in some ways. We were pretty close to the timer last time, but this time, not nearly. But that's partly because I was expecting the roller to do more in terms of just being able to roll over the weaker ones right away, and so the fact that it didn't gets us into a bit of trouble. But the level up that we have with the additional skill point could help. Yeah, damage output seems to be a bigger limitation right now than my own HP, in spite of the fact that we did go down in that, so, you know, let's keep pumping it. And go full glass cannon. Do we want to stay with the ink consumption bonus? I think we do. And we'll stick with Fry. Let's go back to Splatter Shot, though. And you see it is no longer in the yellow zone as far as level goes, so... And you pick up experience even from failing, so... No harm in retrying. Yeah, the DPS on the Splatter Shot is actually quite a bit better than the roller if we're not using vertical roller all the time the way we should have been. And we stand close to the turret near expiry, so they get drawn to the explosion afterwards. And if we collect power for Fry quickly enough, then on the Quahog wave we can dump eels on everything. And also just have the turret available strategically for the explosion. Whoop, standing too close for that. Reinforcements. Okay, close to getting eels. Did not die to that, luckily. Oh, yes we did. That means we have 17 seconds left over the rest. That's not great. Yeah, I should have got myself out of trouble with the turret that time. That was close, but not quite what we needed. No, it's not going to work. If we hadn't lost time to the death, maybe that would have been within reach. We could try. I mean, we're picking up lots of XP off just trying this, so it really doesn't hurt to grind for it and make a few attempts. Kick the door down. Yeah, because you get Fry charged up pretty much right as the Quahog wave comes. I need to pick off a few of them right at the end of that. And also, I think I wasn't really using the turret on cooldown in segment the way I should have been, and that did cause some problems. I think we use turret on cooldown regardless of whether we need the area damage from it. Oh, whoops, that was unfortunate. And probably compromises run. Okay, splash them all out. Again, stand close to the turret so we can... Also, I'm not using the bot jump strategically enough. That's something that we should be optimizing as well, is that, you know, I need to get to safety sometimes and just dump on everybody from above where possible. Okay, let's get some currency off of Fry here at the 30-second mark so we can have enough power eggs to dump on everybody. Whoop. Unfortunately, yeah, a 2-second time loss on that. It's not going to be enough to work with, I don't think. Yeah, it's not enough damage out. We're getting the level up for the skill points. You level up really quickly off of this, but we're getting closer. It is a big DPS check, but we have a skill point now, and we can just pump more DPS, right, on the turret. You actually level up so quickly off of that, that it makes sense to just attempt it a few times. We need more juice. I actually feel like maybe going for the big explosion range on a gadget might work out better. In terms of getting you out of trouble, but... because maybe that's what we need to do. We need an additional 4 points on it. Oh, we should have maybe added 2 skill points and then... what would we take off? Maybe take off the finale. Yeah, actually we should have added 2 points, taken off finale, and gone for a large explosion on the placement. That would have made a lot more sense, because we're not getting enough juice out of this here. But if we're not getting enough juice out of the explosive finale, then the sensible thing to do is to go range up. Generally. And try it that way. I think we stick with Splatter Shot. Particularly as my only level 4 weapon, and also because it gets me out of trouble much faster. Yeah. We're close enough that just minor optimization like this should actually be fine, and I feel like it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of a level grind on some of these attempts as well, just because, you know, definitely I've found that on Survivalist here, everything has been a DPS check, that we're not doing nearly enough, not doing it quickly enough. And so, it does make a certain amount of sense to just stick with it and see if we can bust through it. Oh, maybe spent that a little too soon before the Cohawk wave. And actually, jumping on the bot helps a bit, except I'm out of ink. Except you can get out of here this way. Whoop. Where's my bot? Okay, 15 seconds though. We're not going to get it, even with Fry helping me out here. Lost too much time to the failures there, so maybe we're going to keep on going with it. Maybe we do need to reconfigure it a little bit, but if we get the next level up, then maybe we add 2 points to accessories and level a bit. Given how hard the Cohawks are hitting, I don't think leveling HP will even do much for us there. Like, we basically need more damage out, regardless. And getting the material off of the reward for this will get us one step closer to weapon upgrades, which is potentially going to be useful. So, okay. But yeah, the larger explosion range would help a lot, I think. Okay, drop the turret on cooldown. I have to remember that. And just not get splatted. Yeah, ink was a bit of a problem there once we got to the Cohawk wave, because the thing is I was staying in the air and I was staying out of trouble, but it didn't help because I was out of ink and couldn't do anything. But certainly I think we can get more mileage out of the bot jump than we've been seeing. Okay, let's save this for Cohawk wave. And bust at least a few of them down just to make some space until we get Fry charged up. Great. Got Fry up and running before we took critical damage that time. That's important. Although maybe we used head a little too early given that we have so many Cohawks still available here. Okay, didn't take a death yet. That's important. Nice. Well, spoke too soon. Given that we have a time here. We still seem pretty far off being able to do it. Let's go for one more point here, and then we'll try it with maybe the bigger explosion range when I have my skill point to build towards it. Because the attempts here are actually boosting my levels so quickly that make a certain amount of sense. I mean, that was the best attempt yet by a good margin. You could really feel the damage increase that we have out in that I was staying alive for much, much longer. And even though I'm in danger already because we've been standing way too close when trying to drop the turret in the danger zone. I have to remember that I can do a bigger range throw on the turret just with a slight hold. It's actually what we should be doing, so I don't just dive into trouble immediately because we can use it like a bomb essentially when we do the setup for it. That's a little optimization that would help here, perhaps. Dump on everybody with Fry. Do a big area clear and a more successful one than before because we're not leaving tons of Cohawks on the table. Ink problems here though. Get over here so I can jump. Close, but the timer is still an issue. So we actually survived the whole thing that time, but we still can't beat the damage check. Explosion range may take care of that, so let's see. Yeah, because turret range is not actually that much of an issue here. The explosion range would clear up a lot more space, potentially. So let's go for this. This will also enable more upgrades on the limiter, which then would potentially allow us to power up even further. Release the limiter. Oh, and we'll get more relic power so we can do the deflection and double jump, which is going to be helpful. Because we're getting awfully close on that one. And it's only one skill point for each tier even after that. That's still a decent number of gains we'll be able to get off of that. We also haven't looted any Spiral Light, so even once we get reward here, that's still a long ways to go before the weapon upgrade. But let's let's do a bit of a reconfiguration here first. First of all, relic powers. We can get a second slot going for the knockback, which might be really critical here if we remember to use it. What we're going to do is we can put range back, put explosive placement to large. I still think we go with Fry for this, because the timing matches up quite nicely with when we need to clear the board of the Quahawks. But we'll get that up and running right away. And clear space more efficiently here at range. Yeah, because then we use it as a burst bomb, basically. And it feels much more comfortable. Much more comfortable. Significantly so. I don't know if we're still getting enough speed off of this to power through the level, but definitely feel like we have more opportunity to actually recharge some ink while the explosion gives us a little bit of room to move. Because keeping up on ink has been part of the problem here too. We had a trouble right. Come on. 4 seconds left. We're so close. We're so close. We didn't get mobbed here at the last minute. If we grind up to level 9 and just do a damage increase, maybe that just does it. Like a main weapon damage increase, that might actually be all we need. So we're going to ride this up all the way from level 5 to about level 9. Just in this one level. It's no longer even giving a danger warning because technically we're finally at the level requirement. Okay. That was not a very successful throw, but okay. That's fine. I kind of expected with how we were doing that at some point we would hit a snag with Survivalist here where we would need to grind up a little bit anyway to stay on pace with the damage output that's required, given just how tight the requirement was, even on the very first island, to get waves down in time. Just don't forget to use the turret, given that we're building towards it. We'll back up and get some ink sometimes. Let's let him in a little further first before we dump Fry. So we can get more spawns that are taken care of by the explosion. And we'll have one other huge Quahawk wave coming in just a moment here. 10 seconds. And it's a little bit short. That's why I'm saying that the extra 10% on main weapon might actually make an impact here. Power rig's almost full. Look at that. Look, we were so close. It is absolutely going to benefit from the damage increase. Gadget damage or main damage? Main damage for this. Because that's what's been the limitation here. We'll continue to go glass cannon given that damage output is the issue. But then we'll be able to scale the character in such a way that, you know, we're finally kind of on pace when it comes to damage output, and use this level as our testing ground for getting that done. Getting into danger already. Let's maybe be a little more careful about that. You know, having a second gadget on cooldown would have helped a lot with this, I now realized. Because they don't consume resources, they're just on cooldown, right? So doing this with one gadget might be a big part of the problem here in terms of how this was tuned. Because you would expect that having a second gadget available simultaneously is actually a significant power spike for the player. Okay, let's spawn more so we can get in there for dumping fry on everybody. Need to back up a little bit for the ink. Almost there, almost there. No. Very close. Very close. I feel like one little optimization would do it. Let's go train somewhere else. No. No. Sunk cost fallacy. And also we're leveling up very efficiently here. The experience is coming in quickly, so... Yeah, if we can just catch more of them with the Fry's power by perhaps being centered a little better, like do a bot hop into it and do a big overhead shot with it to really cover the field instead of missing half of them. That might do it. Standing too close. Way too close. Let's get out of danger first. Okay. Oh, that was reckless. Doing well, too. I fear the time loss there will matter. That's okay, if we just pump the main damage slightly further, even beyond this, then on this next level up, we might be able to get within range. Yeah, the time loss there did take us down a little bit. So, main damage or turret damage once again with the explosion. I think we stay on main damage. Let's just pump this thing. Unless we want to go gadget slots. If there's a reason that we would do that, maybe for the turret range. Let's take a look. Oh, we get to change outfits. Interesting. I was wondering when this would kick in. Reach level 10. And there's amiibo as well. I do, in fact, have a big man amiibo hanging around. We might tap that in at some point, but... Oh, okay, so to collect some, you do need to play multiplayer at some point if you want a full collection, it seems. And you do need to call for help at some point to really collect everything. Well, you know what? Let's see about the Sparkle Prism. Yeah, tactical mechanic. But can you switch the outfit even if you're still on any tank you would like? Yeah, you can, so you're not just locked to one style. Let's go Sparkle Prism, why not? We just unlocked it. Some of the other outfits are kind of nice though. Yeah, you can see that the trousers here are kind of in Fry's baggy style as well. Let's go with this. But, speaking of which, so do we want 2 additional points? 2 additional points would get us turret range. Other thing we could do, I mean, I like that we took so much on explosive placement, but fire rates would have been 1 additional DPS boost as well. I don't know how much of a DPS boost, but given that we're using the explosive to clear space, I think we leave things as is and go for just a flat damage increase. Really pump this thing like crazy. In general, I'm not that fond of situations where you just grind until you get something. But in this case, with this game and the way it's structured, on Survivalist, it does make a certain amount of sense for us to at least get to a point where I know that my damage is keeping pace with the game. Like we're going to hit a snag like this at some point, and we might as well deal with it while we have the chance and while the experience is coming in very quickly. .905. It actually kind of feels like the explosion effect is scaling with my main damage, not the gadget damage, but I don't know if that's the case or if it's just scaling with my level. We're just seeing that effect instead. Okay, cleared that wave before 30-second marker. That's a pretty huge improvement, in fact. Let's just clear some space over here. If we can. Whoa. Got saved. Bit over there. Whoa, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we're within like 200 and still hitting the timer. And Nikki and Jill, welcome. This is our first day with Splatoon Raiders, which is the new Splatoon spin-off. First Splatoon game since Splatoon 3 in 2022, although I guess Side Order, which was the expansion to the last game released 2 years ago. And we're playing on the hard mode and trying to beat this, and I'm not really making the numbers yet to make it happen. So I wonder if we should reconfigure a bit. I actually wonder if we should go for the fire rate instead of the explosion. Let's do this. We'll see if this is more successful. I was a little dependent on clearing space using the explosion though, so maybe not. Just do little optimizations here, and you know, in the meantime we level up in the background while we figure this out. Yeah, explosion range not great, but and less damage on it too, actually, with the small explosion. Well, maybe that's a problem, but we'll see. But the turret DPS might be enough to assist us and get us over here. Considering how much turf I'm commanding right now, I think that we actually are doing better with it this way, and we should make sure we attract everything close to the turrets so we can continue to get everything within its range. It does feel like I'm clearing faster, but I'm not sure if that's actually the case. Yeah, so you can see the timer before it gives you the warning. It's on the left of the bar on top. So let's clear a bit over here. Your default damage increase from the fire rate will outpace what we were depending on with the explosion, but we have to find out. Oh. We're so close to getting it. We actually survived the level this time, but still can't get over the line. Needs more juice. I don't know if the fire rate actually was the answer there then. It does seem to help, but the explosion does give you considerable damage. They're both kind of getting us within the same neighborhood in terms of going damage. Also, I wasn't using the double jump at all to do the pushback. That's something that actually might be important as a tiny little optimization that we should be using here. I think staying with the splatter shot probably still is the way to go. I mean, we probably could have just looted a better main weapon by now on a different level, but that's okay. Let's see what we can do. Second gadget would have been helpful here too, for sure. Because we're actually over-leveling this by now and still not making it happen. And Allure Music, yes, we started Raiders today. Playing on the hard mode and then realizing that, oh, I just have to level grind a little bit here anyway just to keep up the curve. Because this level has been a major snag. We were doing just fine before this, but then this was presented as an early challenge level. I've gone from level 5 to 10 just grinding away at this one, but the experience comes in so quickly that it's actually been worth it to prioritize playing it, I think, even though we're not picking up any loot in the meantime. Okay, commanding a good amount of space at least. But the ink depletion has been getting me into a little bit of trouble. Let's get more of them on the field first and then use Fry. It hasn't actually been that effective, I don't think, as an approach. Nope. We're so close. We're within 1,500. Maybe if I hadn't taken damage there, we would have done it. Like if we just ignored the Cohawks and just went for the small guys at the back. I does not like that I'm grinding against this level. Rye's going to complain. And yeah, Laurie, you're hoping my night is going even more wonderfully than yours is. I'm sure yours has been great. And mine has been excellent too. But thanks for dropping by, even though you don't want to get spoiled too soon. Oh, okay, no, Fry's not telling me to go somewhere else, but just had something to say. Oh, we increased our support level. Maybe that buffs us up somehow. Yeah, because there is a support level with each of the companions. Nothing stronger than my Moray Storm, but we'll see. If Fry specs have gone up with support. We get a scroll with it for the bond. Tells you more about Fry's history with the Onaga clan and guild training. Okay, so you get lore about each of the characters, which is good because, you know, Deep Cut has been a little bit shortchanged when it comes to lore in the series so far. With Pearl and Marina always getting the best material in both Octo Expansion and Side Order. So do we keep on going with main? Or do we optimize gadget slots a little further? I feel like a little bit of weapon damage actually gets us over the line. We're so close at this point. I think other levels that we do will feel like a big step back after this check. Just try to power through this. Oh, actually, we should use turrets here. There we go. Bombard them a little bit. We've been underusing that. Should have used it on cooldown to keep pace. Just going to throw off my timing a little bit for the Kohawk wave here. Let's take down what we can before we dump Fry. So we can crack that a little bit more. And try to power through that wave as quickly as we can. Ten seconds remaining. Oh, shouldn't have dumped it in the middle of nowhere over there. That was... No, we were actually behind pace this time. We're doing not as well as the previous wave, maybe. Yeah, not very good turret usage that time, perhaps. What if, now that we've actually reconfigured a little bit, or rather increased my main damage, we put this back on a fire rate? See what happens. We're a bit dependent on the explosive right now. Maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe we should go back to just raw damage on the turret instead, but... Also... Ah, I see. So, yeah, no. I'm just looking at the indicators for the range values here. Yeah, let's keep going like this. Let's try to see if the damage gets us over the line at this point. We'll see. Might be smoother sailing from here once we get through this level. Particularly if we get weapon upgrades going on. Standing a bit too close. I have to remember, I do have to double jump to push back defensively if we need to do so, and I keep forgetting to use it. It's just not been a habit. Let's wait until we get some spawns here and then drop the next turret. There we go. Still maintain a bit of a central position on the turret since we didn't increase his range by that much. Yeah, let Fry do the full clearance, then we drop the next turret and continue. We focus them down properly and see what we can get. Whoa, no. Just got stuck on the side when we were at 2300. Just fell off the corner there. Fortunately, we were very close. We'll stay with the fire rate idea because I think it's still viable. We realistically probably should have gotten a second gadget up and running first before we decided to push through like this, but oh well. It's okay, we get a sense of what is required at least if we go for this level immediately. I want to go for turret damage rather than main damage next, perhaps. Or something like that, but... And the ink consumption has been a bit much, too. Oh, the turret's way out of position. Let's take the opportunity to get ink replenishment actually while Fry is doing her job. We don't actually need to keep spraying while Fry is clearing space anyway, right? That's something we need to keep in mind. Also, do the bot jump to get back into safety if we can, and that might be a necessary optimization here as well. Getting so close within 200 once again. Still not over the line. We need to rethink a little bit here. Still feeling this one out. Yes, we are. Maybe we go back to explosive for this. But then we'll need to be careful about the range. Or even if we just go... What do we go? Low explosive. Super high range. Because we've been kind of throwing it in the corners lately to use the bomb effect, and that might not actually be a good way to play if we're not getting consistent damage output from the turret, depending on placement. So. We'll see. It might make sense to go gadget damage rather than just main damage for the next little optimization we're doing here. It seems like we're clearing space so much better than we did before, but at the same time... Yeah, because at least with more uptime on the turret, then you get more of a chance to recharge ink. And that's something that we should strategize a little better. Not get overwhelmed by the cohogs. Make some turf while we're in a position where we can do it. Some more room. No, we're actually behind pace from where we were before. This is not doing enough damage. Like, we're actually way behind in terms of the damage numbers that we're pulling. That was actually kind of a decrease. So let's see here, because if we go back to low range, back to high explosion. So we can either build towards the fire rate, or we can build to just flat gadget damage to get things down more quickly. I don't actually know how much of a fire rate increase it is. I mean, I guess that's what the test machines are for, but it does make a certain amount of sense to flip it first. The thing is that even after we're out of this level, we won't have the Spiralite crystals required to really take advantage of the weapon upgrades anyway, even if we can afford to build a station, which is not even clear at this point. Yeah, use this on cooldown. The explosion does matter quite a bit, actually. And I shouldn't forget that we have the double jump to clear space if needed, if we start getting mobbed by Cohogs. That's one optimization that I keep forgetting to do. Recharge the Mink when we can. Seem to be controlling space better than usual here, but we'll see if that actually remains the case. Power rate's full. There we go. 6 seconds remaining on it too. That was really much more efficient. Okay, that took us all the way from level 5 to 12. But yeah, the explosion did end up mattering quite a bit in terms of clearing enough space and buying some time to recharging, and you could really feel the effect that time. So, and we get to power up the tactical tank, and we'll see what that does. But yeah, when I realized how quick the level gain is here, I thought, okay, you know, we'll just push on it because we're so close and we can see at what level that becomes important. So yeah, this will help us do the weapon upgrade. We won't have enough Spiralite shards to follow up on building that though. And let's take a look with the tank. Power it up in tank. What does this give you? Super tactical tank. Tank Vortex ability now available. Activates when exiting swim form. After being submerged in ink for a period of time. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's just passively available then where you... What even is fermenting salmon? Well, we'll find out. So what kind of visual indication do we get for that? Like we are in swim form. And then it lights up. Oh. Interesting. Then it makes a little ring around you until it cools down. It's not available until after it's cooled in, of course. You charge it up. And then... who knows what that does. Okay. Let's see. Can we actually build this yet? We can't because we need more Spiralite. That's okay. That's what the next level's for. Serves us right for buying up the arcade. But... we've got our priorities straight, so let's continue. We'll stay with a splatter shot because it looks like it is another dungeon level coming up. And yeah, eventually we'll diversify our builds here, perhaps, but in the meantime, let's finally move on to the Chowda Buried Ruins. Feels like we have so much space to work with all of a sudden after that last level. Oh, scrapper over there. We'll drop the turrets when we can. Look out. Yeah, this feels much more relaxed than what we just went through. Didn't get so crowded. And then, okay, got the power eggs going. And let's keep going. And yeah, so much time remaining because we've completely outstripped the damage requirement now for this stuff. At some point, we'll probably want to improve HP, but that's not the constraint yet. I'm not just getting one shot by stuff yet, but anyway, gotten really comfortable with the setup now. And we'll just blow through everything. At this point, whoop. Something stinging, I see. And about 40 seconds remaining, so doing well for damage, as we might expect after gaining 7 levels in the previous challenge. Minced Scrapper. Take it down. Got 88 seconds to do it. Just watch out for how it's doing here. And also remember that swim form, we have our new ability. Oh, whoops. Okay, that's okay. We still have 2 hits remaining. Take this down from behind because it is a scrapper. It's just a scrapper that has ideas about that's going to point at you instead. Oh yeah, we'll be fine.